Hey guys, welcome to Sippin and Spillin with Syd from 3 Mississippi. Can you believe that it is 7 o'clock right now and it's still daylight outside? I cannot. I'm so happy. I know, don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of switching the clocks over, but I do enjoy when the days are longer. Not that I wasn't already noticing that the days were longer, but today is like noticeable. And I just love it. It's so exciting. It's cold today. We're actually under that freeze warning still. But man, it's beautiful. I thought we might go for a little bit of a walk before the sun goes down, before it gets too dark. I was out here today kind of evaluating the front here. We got some landscaping logs or landscaping lumber, I suppose. They're actually stocked in front of the garage right now. But I'm going to be putting those in front of that bark bed there that has all the flowers and things in it, which are tiny right now, so you can't see from far away. And I got some more bark to add to it, but Mike wants to kind of level it out a little bit first. We'll see. I might end up kind of doing that project myself because that's one that I can kind of tackle. And I think I could do a decent job at it. We'll see. But man, it's chilly, it's cold, but it is beautiful. There's a crispness in the air, and it's not a cloud in the sky. I mean, beautiful. The storm that came through the other night, let's see, what night was that? Saturday night, I guess it was. We ended up getting a little over 4 inches of rain here in a fairly short period of time. Bunko, of course, is every time I go for a walk, he's got to follow me. But I thought I'd take you guys down here to the pond real quick before it gets too dark. I'm actually going to put my drink down. I'll retrieve it on the way back. I don't like having to walk and talk and hold too many things. That just gets a little bit, I don't know, annoying, as it were. But I'm going to take you over here to where we did the burn. And you guys aren't going to believe how much it's grown. It's only been, well, we started noticing it like within just a couple of days. The grass was already coming up through it. And I do love this time of year. Spring is one of those times where, you know, the weather's changing over, the land's coming back to life, the animals are having babies. It's just so exciting. And my goose has been laying eggs. Obviously they're not fertilized because I don't have my male anymore of my Sebastopol, but she's been nesting on the chicken's eggs, none of which are fertilized. But I'm going to flip this around so you guys can really see how much growth has happened. I mean, I know you can kind of see here, this whole area behind me. I mean, look at that. It's already popping through with green. It's just absolutely changing over. This is going to be such great soil, and it's already coming back to life, and it's amazing. And it's such a beautiful, I do love this time of day. Early mornings and like late afternoon, sunset time. I just love the light and the way the air feels. I know that sounds kind of weird maybe, but there's just a difference in the feel of it. I don't know, I like it. And I think it's gonna look really good. The area around the pond, we're gonna go check that out right now where we did the burn. We did, while I'm walking over there, I'll tell you guys, we did work on the chicken coop. Frankie had her girlfriend over on Saturday, and they did manage to get quite a bit done. And then Mike worked on it. I believe it was Sunday when he worked on it a little bit more and got a few more things done. And a couple things kind of staged, ready for the next thing, the next phase. But it's coming along. Clock is ticking. I'm getting a little nervous about that clock because I'm going to have birds here before too much longer, and going to need that to be squared away here pretty soon. But let's take a look here down at the pond. Oh, I just saw a fish jump. A couple of them. There's fish in here, but it's nice and full after all that rain. We'll actually walk down over here to the other pond. We call it the mud hole because it's a lot more shallow and it's a lot smaller. Well, we think it's more shallow. We haven't walked through the whole thing. But we did see it pretty empty when we first got here, and it's not as deep, I think, as this one, but you can see all the debris around the edge of the pond is burned up, and it's gonna look nice. It's gonna look nice. Bunko's dancing around my feet like a crazy cat, following me around. We're gonna walk over to this other pond real quick. And this time of the year too is nice, guys, because I mean, it was sunny all day today, but I'm too cold to, like, you know, do anything really fun outside. Plus I had work I was doing. Frankie was with a friend all day. She's actually on her way back. They went to some, I don't know, girls went shopping. I'm not a big shopper, so Frankie likes to go shopping sometimes, and my girlfriend Jen likes to go, and so does Kay, her daughter. So 3 of them went shopping, and they picked up Miss Wanda, which is Jen's mother-in-law, who's just the sweetest lady, and they all went shopping at a big outlet center up north. But we're gonna go check this out down here. Yes, I'm being careful for snakes. Yes, I'm watching for things. I know you guys worry when we're out here in nature, but you know, it's fine. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy life too. I love this big log that fell over. That's recent. I wonder if Mike even knows that fell over. I don't know. Oh, this was not like this before. It's pretty cool. Looks like he had burned this area. You can kind of see around the trees. The previous owner, Barry, had burned down here. And actually you can kind of see maybe right there, those trees that are black. He'd burned part of the creek while we were here visiting and checking out the house back in June. So I think this tree got a little bit burned, and then I think it was a little bit weakened already, but it done fell over there. And I mean, call me crazy, but there's all the wood chips are on top of like the leaves and stuff that are over here. So that makes me think that this just happened. This is one of those spots where we don't walk down to very often, because we don't come check this little pond out very often because there's not much to it. And we usually go that way if we're going to like the strawberry patch or whatever. So we don't really walk this little patch. And honestly, until I got right down here, I couldn't see this log because of the way the little hill is. So who knows? I think maybe that last doozy of a storm we had with those crazy winds might have assisted in knocking this over. But that's okay. I'm not going to walk down here, guys, because I don't know how stable this ground is down here. But you can kind of see, I'll turn around. I'm standing on a very precarious log. You can kind of see it's definitely smaller. That's why we call it the mud hole. I can't talk today. That's fine. I don't know if there's any fish in that little thing. There's probably frogs and mosquitoes and stuff. But it runs out. There's a little alcove, little drainage that goes right here. And that kind of leads down into the creek area. And we'll walk over there a little bit. I probably should have mic'd myself because the crunching of the leaves under my feet is going to be probably loud. But that's okay. Sometimes that's okay. Actually, no, I left one of my my mics and the receiver in the car from the other day when I filmed. But you know, I just can't remember everything all the time. Sometimes that's the struggle bus is here, and I am the captain of the struggle bus. But I can hear that water running down here too. I'm kind of walking down. A lot of tree limbs fell down here. I don't know if you can see behind me here. This was all from these last like 2 big windstorms we had. Looks like it knocked more of the fence down over here. My shadow, he goes wherever I go. He's better than the dogs that staying by my side. But we've got these beautiful purple trees down here, and the water's flowing. It's just beautiful. And silver pasture, you can see right through those trees. Look how green it's looking. I mean, it's pretty cool. And Bunko's watching the wildlife here. Let's see if I can get it where you can see him, hopefully. There he is. He's just watching out in the creek there. But man, I know summer's coming. The bugs are not out yet, not in full force. There's a few varieties flitting about. I did put my hummingbird feeders up for those of you that are waiting for the hummingbird countdown. They are supposed to start hitting this area within the next couple of days. I think it was listed as the Ides of March 15th. And so I did get them up a couple days ago with the idea that they'd hit me first and stay. So we'll see. I did move them around a bit. Hopefully Bunko won't be tempted to try to go after them. He's been really good about not going after the birds. I think he understands now, but maybe not. I don't know. But he's walking up behind me now. He's like, oh, Mom walked too far away. I gotta follow her. Come on, Bunk. Come on. There he goes, full speed. But I stopped, so now he's gotta stop. He found something. He was eating crickets like crazy the other day in the strawberry patch. It was cracking me up. But man, it is beautiful. I mean, these longer days are fantastic. I'm excited to experience our first full spring here and really get these animals going and just see how it all goes down here, because I mean, I had a good rhythm. I had a good routine back at the old place, at the old farm, and I knew how everything would react. I understood what changes to look for in the weather and to anticipate certain things. And it's going to take me a little while to learn some of those changes here, just so that I kind of know when the weather's about to shift, because that affects your animals. And it's important to kind of keep track of that. It's beyond just kind of looking at the weather, because the weather apps and things don't always get it exactly right for your little spot. So you got to kind of get a rhythm and a feel with your land and your area, so that you can really try to be in tune with all of that as best you can, so you can keep everybody happy and safe and comfortable, so they have a nice little life. But man, I know I've probably said it a million times, but I just can't wait to get all that started and get the animals going. And Mike is just as passionate about the garden, as you know, if you've watched any of his planting videos. He can't wait to get stuff in the ground. He just can't wait. He loves this time of year. This time of year is always busy. Frankie's birthday is on Friday, on St. Patrick's Day. My little leprechaun. So we're having a girls' day that day. But Mike's birthday is in a couple weeks, and he's going to be the big 5-0, guys. He's going to be the big 5-0. So that's crazy to me, because Mike and I have been together since he was in his 20s, and now he's turning 50, and I'm like, what happened? When did we get old? But we did. I don't know. Well, he's older than me by a little bit. So, I will hold that over his head forever. But man, guys, it's really, I even just the other day, I was looking through, how you get your photo memory album things where that pops up on this day 1 year ago, on this day 2 years ago. And I was looking at some of the stuff we were doing, obviously at the old place. And I'm thinking, man, I would never have guessed if somebody had said to me a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you're going to be in northern Mississippi on 45 acres, starting all this over again from scratch. And I would be like, really? You sure? I don't know if I would have believed him. Not that I didn't want to do this. I just really thought it was going to be the kind of thing that it would be like after Frankie was out of high school that we would be able to move. But for selfish reasons, I'm glad we did it now. This was the spot for us. This was where we were meant to be. We have met the most amazing people down here, and we love it here. It's a beautiful life. I mean, it really is. And Mike's yelling at me because I'm guessing the oven timer went off.
Oh, I can do something with it. It's just
Just check the turkey. It should be done. I'm making turkey. And I apparently didn't time this right with the turkey oven beeping. And so Mike's like, why aren't I going back in there to check the timer? So he was just yelling at me. But on that note, guys, I'll go ahead and let you go. But man, it's such a blessing to be here. Never would have thought it would have happened. I'm glad that it happened when it happened. I'm glad that, you know, Frankie's going to be able to live here through her teenage years, and she has a better chance of sticking around versus us waiting until she was 18 and then us moving. So I have a better chance of keeping her close by, which is, I think, a plus as a mom. So thanks for hanging out with us here, guys. And as always, until next time, safety's off.